understand that our Republican colleagues would prefer to distract and divide with a hearing that completely misses the moment. Just days after armed and masked U.S. agents have shot and killed 2 citizens on the streets of an American city. So it's important that we refocus on the threats to civil rights and liberties that are occurring right here, right now, in America. And I want to thank Mr. Mayo for bringing firsthand testimony to Congress about what is happening on the streets of Minneapolis, because the people of Minneapolis have risen to this moment and understand it better than everyone. The White House has unleashed armed and masked federal agents onto our streets to terrorize our communities. And if you think it doesn't affect you, think again. Masked government agents are kidnapping people on the streets of American cities, citizens and non-citizens alike, breaking into their cars and homes, holding them at gunpoint, raiding homes without warrants in violation of the Fourth Amendment. Government agents are surveilling, threatening, and assaulting Americans when they peacefully observe and protest these actions in violation of the First Amendment. They're detaining children and adults with no criminal records in nightmarish conditions in violation of every standard of human decency. And in the last 28 days, Trump's paramilitary goons have violently and lawlessly shot and killed 2 Americans. In the aftermath, the administration tried to smear the dead Americans' actions and characters and convince the world not to believe what we saw with our own eyes. And throughout, our government, not foreign governments, has tried to silence those who expose or criticize those excesses, arresting and threatening elected officials, journalists, and concerned citizens. So why isn't Republican leadership of this committee and Congress hauling the Department of Homeland Security and Kristi Noem before this committee? Why aren't they conducting an investigation into the killing of American citizens and the use of excessive force by ICE and CBP? Why aren't they doing their jobs to demand accountability? Americans are outraged. I don't understand why my Republican colleagues are not. Instead, they're trying to deflect attention and tell us that Europe poses the biggest threat to Americans' rights. It's insulting because it is really clear that right now, the most serious threat to American civil rights and civil liberties is coming from our own government. Now, Mr. Mayo, we've seen ICE agents conducting warrantless arrests, and a particularly egregious example occurred in Minnesota when masked agents broke into a man's home, held him at gunpoint, and dragged him out into the freezing cold in his underwear and a pair of Crocs, only to realize he was an American citizen with no criminal record, and the guy they were actually looking for was already in prison. How would the Fourth Amendment address this situation? Why is it important that we have warrants with respect to searches of people's homes, et cetera?
Thank you. The founders ensured that the Fourth Amendment places significant limits on the government's ability to enter our homes, search our persons, and subject us to arrest. And one of the clearest rules under the Fourth Amendment is that federal agents just can't break into your home and arrest you without a judicial warrant. That judicial warrant is a critical component to ensuring accountability. That is what we are seeing more and more that is missing. We are seeing on the ground the use of administrative warrants, which do not allow someone, an agent, to enter your home and arrest you.
And if a judicial warrant is sought, doesn't the judge require the government to show that they have the right house and the right person, and that there's probable cause to suspect that they're going to find the person they're looking for there?
That's right. That's that layer of accountability that comes into showing that you're not just going into someone's home based on a limited amount of suspicion or in certain cases, in these cases, racial profiling or just thoughts this person might not be here illegally.
And would you agree that when folks argue that immigrants don't have constitutional rights or immigrants don't have the right to demand a warrant before their home is searched, Not only is that contrary to the Constitution, but if you take that position, then you can end up with the situation that we had in Minnesota, where a citizen's constitutional rights are being violated because there was no due process, no probable cause, no warrant.
Our constitutional rights and the rights of the Bill of Rights apply to us all.
And explicitly, the Fourth Amendment says all persons. It doesn't say citizens, does it?
That's correct.
Okay, are you familiar with the opinion by the Texas judge in the case involving the boy in the blue bunny hat? Didn't the judge there say that using an administrative warrant is like the fox guarding the henhouse?
Okay, you can answer that real quick, Mr.
We are really concerned, very concerned about the erosion of the Fourth Amendment, and I know that that's something that's dear to many people on this committee, and the use of an administrative warrant is a significant erosion if it's being used to go into homes to arrest
The
people.
gentlelady has
Thank you. I have a UC.
Okay, go ahead.
I seek unanimous consent to introduce Guardian, British newspaper. Article, 8 people have died in dealings with ICE so far in 2026. These are their stories. It's dated January 28th.
Without objection. Gentleman